Your time now at 5:07, and Alex, I know we saw showers on the way in this morning, but it looks like that is going to be much worse throughout the day.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking about showers at least here for the next hour or two, and then that transitions to that line of storms that's going to be coming through central Georgia by the time we get into the mid-morning hours. Here's a live look over downtown right now. Temperatures across the area, they are in the 50s, 53 in Macon, but notice that dew point is at 51. In order to get storms, we're going to need that dew point to come up a little bit. Same with the temperatures, and the expectation is that is going to happen through the morning hours. We'll get a surge of moisture from the Gulf of Mexico, and that will set the stage for storms later on this morning. Winds out of the south-southeast at about 10 miles an hour. So you can kind of see what I'm talking about here. Look at the temperature difference from Macon down to Cordele. It's 59 in Cordele, but it's 53 in Macon and 48 in Monticello. So this warmer air continuing to surge towards the north here over the next little bit. All ahead of this is the main line of storms coming through before too long. So some showers this morning, parts of Wilkinson County over towards Twiggs County. And then once you get back down into Johnson County, these are just a few sprinkles. The more potent line of storms is really to the west this morning, say from the Montgomery area down right along Interstate 65 or just to the east of it now. Numerous severe thunderstorm warnings that's continuing to lift towards the northeast here over the next little bit. So we're going to be watching that through the morning hours. The leading edge of that main line should be in far northwestern portions of central Georgia, say near Forsyth and Butler, within the next hour or so, and then the entire line pushing through central Georgia by the time we get through the mid-morning hours into the later morning hours. Here we are at about 11 a.m. Wrightsville, Dublin, Eastman getting in on some of this action here before that begins to move out. The good news in all of this, we will begin to clear out later this afternoon. I don't think the clearing is going to be quite as sharp as was what we were thinking yesterday. So we're not going to be looking at tons of sun by 1 p.m. We're still going to have clouds and a few sprinkles in and around central Georgia. But once we get later into the afternoon, we will get those breaks in the clouds and the last of the rain will be out of here. But regardless, the severe weather threat today will be coming to an end right around noon, 1 o'clock later on this afternoon. And then we will clear out and cool off later on tonight. So today, a level 2 severe weather day. The threat primarily for damaging winds. However, a brief spin-up tornado cannot be ruled out of the picture. With today's setup, you need only just a little bit of instability to get that spin-up tornado because we have a ton of wind shear in the atmosphere. Basically, that means the wind is changing. The higher up you get in the atmosphere, you add just a little bit of instability there. And that's when you can get rotating storms. So we'll be watching for that. In terms of the threats, most of central Georgia and this 15% risk for damaging winds. However, when we look at the tornado risk, we're in a 2% risk. So that's the difference between the two. We have a 15% risk of, or 15% chance of seeing damaging winds, while a 2% chance of seeing a spin-up tornado. That's up to 5% once you head down to the south and east. So we're going to continue to watch it all. Again, the timing from now until about noon, 1 o'clock, the bigger threat for gusty winds, more so than the tornado threat today. Now, regardless of the storms, it is still going to be windy once the storms move through. Gusts 30 to 40 miles an hour will remain possible even on the backside of the line for all of central Georgia. This is a wind advisory that will go until midnight tonight. Then into tomorrow and into Friday, fairly nice weather across central Georgia. It's not until about Sunday or so where our next weather maker arrives, and that's going to be in the form of potentially some heavy rainfall Sunday afternoon and evening. The last of it getting out of here probably early Monday morning before we set the stage for another wet week next week. So morning storms today, a high temperature about 68, sunrise is at 7:33. That wind advisory is in effect until midnight. And then for tomorrow, 54, calling it partly cloudy. 53 and sunny on Friday, an overnight low 29, getting down potentially to 27 by the time we get to Saturday. And then here comes that rainy stretch beginning on Sunday with a 70% chance of rain there, 40% chance of rain on Monday, followed by a 60% chance of rain on Tuesday.